Greetings, brethren, and welcome to the Chess Crusader channel. So, what is dice chess? Whether you came across this video because you found out about dice chess from TikTok or Instagram and wanted to learn more, or are just a chess enjoyer such as myself and simply wanted to look into a new way of playing the game, I'm here to help explain it to you. So, my friend, let's begin. To start, white rolls 3 dice. These dice have a chess piece on each side. 6 chess pieces, 6 sides of a dice. Whatever chess piece is rolled on the dice must be played by the player. For instance, if I rolled 2 knights and a pawn, I would need to move 1 knight twice, or both knights once, and then a pawn. If you cannot play the rolled piece, such as the rook at the beginning of a game because it is boxed in by its surrounding pieces, you just need to ignore this move. You just lose out. This can be pretty frustrating if you don't get any knights or pawns at the beginning of a game, as your opponent can get such a huge lead in development right off the bat if the stars align. However, if at the start of a game you roll a pawn and 2 rooks, you can't just move any pawn. You must move a pawn that allows the rook to move, so one of the flank pawns. Additionally, there are no checks in this game. To win, a player must simply capture the opponent's king as if it were any other piece. I'll show you in a game here soon. While this version of chess is inherently random, there is still great strategy to it. How will you develop your pieces? What is the best way to threaten the opposing king? What do you need to be careful of? Let's start a match here and see. So, we do need to create a game. We'll just create one coin bet game for 3 minutes. They just have coins in this game as a bit of a wagering system, which is totally all right. We just have to wait for somebody to accept the game. I'm sure you've been watching the game in the bottom right corner here of the screen. As you can see, dice are rolled, pieces are moved. It's quite interesting. There's not that many players online right now. Only 36, 10 games going on, so somebody will accept us soon. I am very sure about that. It's picking up momentum. It's quite interesting. And you'll see some people are rated on here like 3,000, and you start at 1,500, but you can go all the way up to 3,000. It's quite crazy how people can get that consistent with such an inherently luck-based game. We'll create a couple more games here just so that we can get into one quicker. I'm surprised nobody has challenged us yet. Usually it's pretty quick, even though it's such a low player base at the moment. The way you play this game, you just go online, you search up dice chess. It's the first link that shows up. It's very well made. You'll see here once we get into a game. There's ELO, everything. Keeps your stats. You can look at past games. It's quite fascinating. We'll see how long it takes for somebody to play me here. Okay. Yeah. Sometimes at the beginning of games, you can just roll like 2 king moves and a queen move, and then you can't move, and then your opponent can just play like 2 pawn moves and then move out their queen and then checkmate you on the next turn because you can't move again. Oh, and the person in this corner just got 3 queen moves, and that's basically an instant win. You'll see here, they're just going to move their queen 1 square. Oh, they didn't. How could have they... They could have won instantly there if they just went to, what is that? I can't read. To the C4 square, and then up to the pawn in front of the opposing bishop, and then just take the king. 3 queen moves in a row is basically just an instant win. It's quite crazy. That can happen at any time too. The goal of the game is just to kind of minimize the chances that you get screwed over. It's yeah. Well, we'll play against the bot here just to show you guys. Okay. Alright, so getting into a game here, we're just playing against the bot just to get some stuff off the table. Okay, see, knight move, and then I got 2 bishop moves, but my bishop cannot move, so he doesn't go out. Okay, he gets a knight move as well. See, 2 pawn moves and a king move. I can move any pawn here, so I can move, like, let's say this one here, but now one of my pawns has to be one of these 2 in front of the king so that the king can move. I will move this pawn here just so that I can try to move my queen if I get a move. 2 rook moves, he's got to move back and forth. That's unfortunate for him. King and a pawn move, we'll move this one out as well. You don't want to this as well. Now I'm threatening here. This is just checkmate here. If I get now I can't do it because he moved his pawn forward, but The chance to get any two pieces on your roll is 7%. So basically, by bringing your bishop out here, you can threaten a 7% chance to win the game. But also, if they get 2 pawn moves, then they can just take your bishop. That's not very good, right? 2 king moves. Wow, this is incredible. I will go back here to threaten. Well, I guess that's just a 3-move checkmate, so not very good. But I'll just keep my king in the middle here. Okay, moves his queen out. Okay, we'll see what happens here. 2 pawn moves and a knight move. Here. Nothing quite fascinating about anything yet. I will try and threaten a piece here, because that's always good. Don't want to expose yourself too much, but... Okay, so my turn again. We got a pawn. Oh, and here we go. We got 2 pawn moves, which lines up with the queen and the king. So we can take both and win the game. The king wasn't in check there. There's no checks. It's just threats and such. So you take the king like a regular piece, and then you win the game. We'll play one more game here, just to showcase this a little bit more. 3 bishop moves. Fantastic. And I can't do anything with them. Okay, once again, cannot roll off the beginning. Usually you get some pieces that you can move off the beginning. Like, you usually get a knight, or just any pawn move. If you get a pawn move, you generally want to move the one in front of the king, just so you open up your queen and your bishop. The general tactics of this is to be able to play with all of your pieces, and to remove pieces from your opponent. So you wouldn't just want to attack willy-nilly. If you get rid of the queen, then that's an entire roll that they can get that you can just waste, because if they roll a queen, they just can't move. So if you can get like their pair of knights, if they ever roll a knight, it's just a wasted turn. So that's kind of how you want to play this game. So knights, we'll just play this here. We'll threaten checkmate off the beginning of there. I know that hangs a bishop, but it'll probably be fine. We're just hoping he doesn't roll a knight. He doesn't, so that's lucky for me. And okay, we got bishop move, rook move. So I can take this. Not really, because the knight's there. We're just going to hide a bit with my pieces. Defend stuff here. If he gets 2 knight moves, I would lose because of this, which is always scary. You always have to be looking, okay, I can lose to 2 new moves in a row. Well, they only have a 7% chance on average if you do the math. There's on the website, you can see they do some calculations to be like, oh, what's the odds to get a specific piece? What's the odds to get this? They'll tell you on the website. So I get a pawn move. I will... Ooh, I can't even take this knight because I have to move a pawn that allows my bishop to move here. So that's unideal. Well, I will bring this here. If he gets a knight, I just lose the game. And there we go. He moves all the other pieces first. Fantastic. Well, we will play one more game here just to showcase this a little bit more. Usually the games don't go too late because stuff happens. Stuff happens very quickly in this game. You don't have to worry about too many endgames, or you just kind of try to minimize the risk of you just losing. And that's not a great move. Well, it does threaten if he gets 2 knight moves in a row, I would lose. But if I get 2 pawn moves in a row, he would just lose this knight. So I don't get that. I do get 1 pawn move. I can't even, because I have to move a piece that can actually escape. We'll do this so I can get my queen and stuff out. We'll threaten the king there, and I think we'll do both of these, so that next turn, if he doesn't get a defensive resource like a pawn push or something like that, I'm just threatening to mate him with 2 pieces, which is good for me. Okay, now only 1, so roughly, it's a 42% chance to roll any piece. Well, I got my 1 knight move, and there you go. And that's Dice Chess. It's quite fascinating. You can see my my username is just the Chess Crusader, just the Chess Crusader. No no underscores, nothing like that. Feel free to friend me on here, play a little bit, and we'll see how good you are. You're good at normal chess, but are you good at this one? Who knows? Go find out. Thanks for watching.